This is how I've made my Momigami paper. Not the easiest product to buy, so this is just an easy way to make it. I'm just sticking down a piece of cut up brown paper bag, and the ones from the supermarket are the best because they're a little bit thicker than ordinary bags, and it's the kneading at the end when this first layer of paint is dry that gives it the handmade texture. So I've just got a piece of press and seal on a board, and I'm just sticking the piece of brown paper down, and now I'm going to use the pewter in the Amsterdam. These are acrylic inks. I've used Liquitex ones and they work well. There's a big globby bit in there, I'll get rid of that. And you just need to put down enough ink to get a good coverage. Okay, so just use a foam brush and brush it all over your brown paper. Doesn't need to be super thick. Acrylic ink is relatively thin, but if you need a little bit more, just add some. That's probably way more than I need. I should get a good coverage. Once you've done this, you need to let this dry. Okay, so we'll let that dry now. The paper is dry now. As you can see, it's just a grocery store brown paper bag. So the ingredient that turns it into a Momigami paper is baby oil. You can use hand lotion, and I did that on the very first one that I did, but apparently baby oil is better in that it won't go off or rancid. So you can see there's a little bit of baby oil on my hands. So what you need to do is just begin by folding in your corners, and all this does is just protect the corners from tearing. Then you need to crunch up the paper, and you'll find as you're doing this step the paper will become less crunchy sounding. So straighten it out again, and the baby oil on your hands and the heat from your hands and the crumpling motion is what makes the handmade kneaded paper. You can actually do this with virtually any paper, even copy paper. Okay, just going to put a little bit more baby oil on my hands. This is still quite crunchy. You can see the colour of the paper is changing on the back even. So it's becoming softer. It loses the paper feel and becomes more like a fabric. Okay, so that one's the pewter. So this here is the gold that I've done in exactly the same technique. But this one I actually use the hand lotion on, and this is the real Momigami paper. So it's quite similar. I mean, the gold is a little bit deeper, and I use the Liquitex gold, but I do have a Winsor & Newton gold that's probably a bit closer to the true Momigami paper. But you can see that's quite soft as well. So I've also got it in a silver. So I've got another piece drying that I'm going to do in the silver as well. But I just wanted to try out the pewter. But that's pretty close to what real Momigami looks like. So this piece here is cut from here, and I've put a little bit of double-sided paper on the back. So then I've just done a die cut out of there. So to stick that down, all you've got to do is peel that back off and stick it down. It's quite a nice effect. But you can just cut irregular shapes out of it as well and stick them down. You do have to be careful if you're going to stick anything on top of this that you use a good quality double-sided tape or a good, like a collage medium or something, that type of glue, because because of the baby oil, it's quite repellent to just a cheaper double-sided tape. Okay.